I do not consent to the encroachment of any negative activities, any negative entities upon my person. My intent is to observe and help if I can. Shields up all frequencies, rotating of course, and we'll throw in a kinetic just for shits and giggles. And yeah, may not help me from being knocked down, but it may keep me from having blood brain again. Last night I indulged in some plant medication, which I occasionally do. I'd say a couple times a month. Less now than probably ever before. I have a little stash of it in my house. It only takes a little bit for me. What it does, and I'm not promoting any kind of use of substances to further, you know, any ideas or concepts, although that's proven to be a good method for a lot of the greats throughout time. I'm not saying I'm even a good, never mind great, but it can help you to gain a different perspective. You could be staring at the box for hours and just do something to jostle your brain with some kind of substance, and suddenly you have a overhead view of it. You know, you can see the box in a different way. and that absolutely does happen to me. So I'm sitting in the bathroom because there's a seat in there, and all this stuff is coming out, all these ideas that it's almost like they stack up back there, and they're like sitting in a box or something, and they're not coming out of the box, but you can sometimes take some kind of altering thing, and it jostles the box, and a couple things fall out. At least that's, you know, metaphorically a way to describe it. So last night, like, the box was kicked over, and I'm like making all these notes. A few times I fired up the camera, and I'm like, oh, the phone, and I'm like, oh, I gotta get this down, and usually whenever I do that, I tend to not keep it, you know, because a lot of times and it happens now still in all my videos, where I'll be thinking about a concept, you know, related to the field, and I'll start working it out IRL, like as I'm talking, like blah blah blah. Sometimes it helps to talk about things, because like the box on the table, you're putting the thought or the item or the idea in a different space, and then you can view it differently, and you can get more information from it. That's how auditory stuff works, and it's very important in the metaphysical to do this. If you're trying to do something, you're trying to use your intent to do something. So I have these copious amount of notes I made last night, and I was very aware to make them so that I can read them again, because sometimes, like, I'm just trying to get ideas down, and I'll do this shorthand chicken scratch typing, and I can't figure out what the hell I was talking about when I look at them later. So this, I use the Queen's English and as good grammar as I'm able to, and I haven't gone through them yet. But the thing that always happens to me is a lot of good can come out of it, and also a lot of bad can come out of it when you jostle the box, you know. So on the one hand, I'm writing down all this stuff that I think is profound, or could be, you know, breakthroughs on things. Not so much profound, but profound to me. You know, like, oh wow, you know, this is a good idea, or that's a good idea. So I'm writing all this shit down, but at the same time, I have that other thing going on, where it's like, dude, what are you doing? You have hundreds of videos of you walking around your neighborhood mumbling about some really fucking crazy stuff. Crazy stuff, you know. And then I go into this thing like, oh shit, should I just wipe the whole thing? It's funny. it's funny. But now I'm at the point where like I catch myself like, no, you gotta not worry about that stuff and just keep going, you know. I'm lucky that I have a lot of you guys that come by often, and you know, we can discuss stuff. And it made me think about one of the ideas I had was, it's something I kind of always wanted to do, was float theories. Like a lot of times I'll come up with these theories on my own in the vacuum, and I never really had enough people visiting, but now I have enough people that I get, you know, comments occasionally, sometimes from different people, sometimes from guys that have been here a while, and I always appreciate that because I like talking to you. But I'm starting to think about maybe floating theories for feedback. Like, hey, I've come up with this, or I've thought about this, to kind of further a concept in a certain direction. And just kind of present what I have to hopefully then get some kind of feedback on it. Like, yeah, I agree, or no, that's retarded, or something like that. Like, or pointers as to where I could be wrong, or something someone could add to it that they've had in their experience that could help shape the concept or whatever. I never had I never had a regular amount of people commenting enough to do that. So I think I do now, you know. So I might start doing that. Well, I have to start doing that, because the exchange of ideas is a large point into why you would do something like this anyway. You know, people are having these experiences all around the world, and that's why, I mean, I even do this. I would never have had the courage to talk about, not that it takes courage, but you are opening yourself up for a lot of ridicule. Luckily, I'm not in a situation where I have to worry too much about my peers, or what would be my peers, you know, if I was more active in the beast system, which I'm not very active in it. But yeah, like, I was talking to my sister today from Boston, and she has no idea I do this. Like, no one in my family does. No one from my like past friend circles from before I moved here anyway, know anything about this. Anyone I was in bands with or in the music scene with, not that I know of. And if there was, I don't really think I'd care. But you do think about it, like, oh man, imagine, you know, so-and-so running into this. It'd be like the guy has completely lost his mind. But it's seeing other people talk about this stuff that gave me, because I don't think I would have did it otherwise. I don't think I would have started this a couple of years ago if I hadn't met and seen other people who discuss this stuff, some usually much better than I do. It emboldened me to say, well, this is my perspective. This weird shit's happening to me too. And hopefully the idea is maybe I can throw something out there that, even if it isn't anything that's useful to someone, just a phrase or a concept might jostle something in your box. Because that happens to me a lot too. Sometimes people just say something and say, oh, wait. And then something falls out of the box, you know. So that's the idea. But I'm going to start floating concepts. I got a bunch of them that I want to talk about, especially in light of the box jostling of last night. I got to go through that later when I get home and see just what I came up with. Sometimes when you're in a state like that, under the influence of like plant medication, self-awareness can be a bit nebulous, you know, a bit, it'll come and go, you know. And that happens a lot with songwriting too. If as a songwriter, it's like you'll come up with something and think, wow, this is really great. And then you get it moving and you start working with other people on it and you realize, no, it's not really great. It's really terrible, you know. There's my thumbnail. So, yeah, so it could be a case of that. I have to look at it though. This is a God, I don't remember a Tuesday like this before. Like this busy. I've been saying that though, like I think I said that last night too when I was out here on Monday. It's like as it gets closer to the holidays, Christmas and stuff, New Year's, there's going to be an uptick in people out here. Like even a month ago, I think a Tuesday night, there would have been nothing like this. And so it's good. It's good for us because it means there's more chances to run across something. I've noticed, like, when it's this peak time, a lot of tourists. Oh, is this singing for the people? I gotta give him some money. This guy's good. I noticed when it's peak time and there's more tourists out, there's less a chance to run into something. It seems like right after they all start going in, like at 11 or something at night, that's when you're going to find the more exciting people come out, the more people that may have some kind of thing going on with them. Hey, man. Yeah, that guy's awesome. He's really good. Shout out to my supporters. Live in Waikiki, no auto tune. So it's the best time I think for me is like 11. Like if you get out here at like 11 o'clock or like 10:30, when they start counting, when a lot of tourists start going in, that's when some of the interesting people start coming in. And by interesting, I don't actually, I mean, you know, that's to taste, really. That's quite a variable there. All right, so not much going on here on my way to my usual destination during the day. But on the way back, I'm going to hit it too, and hopefully there's something. I don't know. Hopefully you'll come up with something interesting or see something interesting. But yeah, I'm going to check those ideas, and I want to start floating theories and concepts, and maybe get some help on developing them. You know, other people maybe adding to them, or, you know, whatever. You understand the idea. What's up, man? So I'm going to try to do that more often. Hopefully get some feedback on it, you know. Don't blame the teacher, blame the school.